What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the release. We are back. It's been 2
Hey,
weeks. We are back online, but it's alright. Okay, look, we got exams going. We're university students now. We're grown youths now. Okay, you can't talk to us like you used to. We're grown ups, university students. You know,
more
we got
busy.
we got we got big boy problems now. So yeah, nah. Shout out to everyone in university. It's exam season right now.
Yep.
Praying for y'all as we go through these hardships, because Lord have mercy, it sucks.
For real.
It
It does.
sucks. Yo, all y'all in grade 12 about to hop into university, fam. Yo.
It's a different animal. It's a different animal.
All y'all that are in Miss Matakini and Mr. What's his name? Our math teacher. What was his name? I forget his name.
Mr. Warren.
In Mr. Warren's class, you'll be thankful. Because
Yeah.
they tell you like it is. They teach their classes like their lectures. So be thankful for teachers like those, dog, because the workload is real. The assignments
Facts.
are real. Like, everything comes at the last minute and is worth 50% of your mark. How am I missing these things? So yeah, be prepared. But a couple of hot topics before we get into today's overall topics. All right. First off, the Blue Jays had a sick home opener. I don't know if y'all pay attention to baseball. I pay attention to baseball.
That's all you right
recently
there.
started paying attention again. There's been renovations to the stadium. It looks nice. I'm going for Mother's Day and my dad's birthday. So it's gonna be hella nice.
All right,
For
cool.
my wrestling fans out there, WrestleMania has passed. It's 2 weeks old, but it's WrestleMania, bro, and it was incredible. WWE's popping off lately. Backlash is coming. The release wrestling is definitely gonna be here soon. Don't be mistaken. Number 3, the NFL draft is in 14 days. We will probably not have an episode done by then, but it's looking juicy. Juicy. The NFL draft is looking good, man. The incredible defensive talent, incredible quarterbacks in the draft right now. Nobody knows what Houston's going to do with that second pick. It's looking great. They were ranting about it on First Take today. So let us know in the comments what y'all think is going to happen in the NFL draft. Release football edition is coming up as well. And
Yeah,
finally,
I need to start looking about that.
yeah.
Start focusing on that more now.
And final, last non-basketball related thing. Bayern Munich versus Manchester City happened. As y'all know, I'm a diehard Bayern Munich fan. I was a Bayern Munich fan before I was a Raptors fan. I was wearing Bayern Munich jerseys when I was like in Pampers. I wasn't talking, and I had a full kit. So it's painful. It's painful to see my boys in red lose to the Blues, but it's okay. We'll get back. We got this. All we got to do is beat Manchester City 4-0. But Champions League is going on.
Honestly,
very
for
good
Man
soccer.
City, I hope they get it done, man. Because they've been way too talented to not win a Champions League over like the last 5 years.
You know what's crazy though? Because whoever makes it out of this Bayern Munich Man City game is just going to be whooped by Real Madrid. It's going to be whooped. Hey, and it's okay. It's okay. But back to the basketball related things. Let's touch on the play-in real quick before we get into our actual topics. The play-in happened. First round of the play-in.
Great
quick
games.
overview. First of all, incredible game to started off with the West. The 7-8 game, which was the Lakers versus the Timberwolves. The Lakers won that one in a nail biter. Pretty poor game played from both teams, but it made for some entertaining basketball. For the 9-10 game, the Oklahoma City Thunder pull off a crazy upset. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is insane. Future MVP right there. The Canadian youth, bro. I'm telling you. He's like
also,
that.
Josh Giddey.
Hey, yes. We mustn't forget about Josh Giddey, eh?
Man, he almost had a 30-point triple-double. They have a nice future, man.
Plus, with that abundance of picks that they got.
Yeah. And Chet Holmgren hasn't even played a game yet. So
hasn't even played a game. We have that. In the Eastern Conference, the 7-8 game was played between the Miami Heat and the Atlanta Hawks. Another big upset. Pretty good game played, but Bam Adebayo, man, I swear to God, I keep picking you for my DPOY or like All-Star every single year. And if you're out here getting destroyed by Clint Capella,
hey, man, we need to have to start having a conversation about Bam, bro, because it's getting ridiculous out here, man.
There's something wrong.
Every time in the playoffs, bro, you shrink, bro. Yeah, getting outplayed by Clint Capella is crazy. I want to say 8 offensive rebounds, man.
There's something wrong.
Yeah,
Telling you, man. And it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed immediately because Jimmy Butler
facts.
can't be having these moments where he's leaned over again, right? He can't will this team to the finals again. It's not going to
They need to
happen.
make some moves, man. They need to make some moves in the
Big
offseason.
offseason coming up from them. Um, Also, speaking of the offseason, before we talk about the last game, because I'm gonna hold that on off for as long as I can. Damian Lillard allegedly has the Trailblazers on a clock this year. Says this is a
Okay.
very important offseason for him. So before we talk about the last game and continue, just quickly, where do you think would be the best fit for Damian Lillard?
Oh, off the top of my head, Miami would be the obvious choice.
That's what a lot of people are saying. That's what
That's
guys
the
like
that,
Stephen A and stuff are saying.
trying to think. There's another team out there. It's off the top of my head, but yeah, Miami for sure. Would they need a scoring guard out there? So
Yeah, that'd be helpful
yeah,
for
or
Miami.
or the Trailblazers could trade for somebody. That could be another. It could be another option. I don't know. Maybe again the Zion Williams market. The Pelicans are willing to trade. Um, Depending on what the Raptors do in the offseason, we could get to that.
I was thinking we
They
could
they
pull
have
off
a
something.
package for Pascal Siakam. They have the assets.
Even Freddie, bro.
Nobody wants Freddie. The
Yeah, that's the problem. Freddie's being stingy. But speaking
only
of the
team that
Toronto
wants him is the
Raptors,
Magic.
yeah, pretty much. Speaking of the Toronto Raptors, we lost
That was crazy.
against the Chicago Bulls because of DeMar DeRozan's daughter. We let, how old is she now?
Like
10,
eight or
8,
10 or
9,
something like
10.
that.
What's up?
Yeah, crazy.
A Torontonian at heart. She was born here. We let her come into our house and scream every time we got a free throw. And it was the worst we've shot since 1997 or something like that.
Yeah,
So
they should have won that game.
from the 90s. That's all that matters. It's been over 20 years since we've shot that bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, they should have won. The turnovers were also bad. Zach LaVine turned into a demon in the fourth quarter. This guy was hitting everything. Pascal missed some clutch free throws. I don't know, man. Nick Nurse looks like he might leave in the offseason,
Our
but
free throw shooting has been poor
all year.
ever since that Tampa Bay team. That after the bubble,
Yeah,
our free throw shooting has been horrendous. And I don't know what it is because we have guys like Precious Achua who are centers who shot 50% of the pass who were shooting 70 this year. But that for some reason, whenever we get into the clutch, everyone just has negative ice in their veins.
the thing is, the Raptors they don't have a lot of pure shooters on the roster. Pascal isn't one. OG isn't one. Barnes, who played well, who was the second best player on the team yesterday, he shot poorly from the free throw line. So yeah, they just don't have a lot of
And that's where
good
Damian Lillard
shooters.
to trade comes in, right? Because a potential build around
Raptors,
him would be good.
I think the Rap that could be a team. I'm not sure if they have enough assets though, because
Regardless of what happens, we have to blow it up this year.
yeah, I don't think trying to build a contender. It's just not happening unless you're willing to trade Barnes to get like Damian Lillard.
And
That'd
that's
be
the
the only
problem.
option.
I think that would be stupid. I think I'd rather keep our younger guys
Yeah.
and trade for a bunch of picks. And if we have to become like a second OKC Thunder, let it be. Because the
I'm
OKC Thunder are on the uprise right now.
Well, Pascal bro has some trade value. I saw this trade on NBA Trade Machine where they would trade him to the Kings. It's a three-team trade, if I remember. They get Keegan Murray, Davion Mitchell, Mo Bamba, and a boatload of picks or something like that. Like if you
And
could, if you
that
just
seems valid too.
yeah, like if you could just get some role players, build around Scotty Barnes for temporarily.
He's a
Get some,
future star player. I
yeah.
think because people were saying that his ceiling is Scottie Pippen, I think he can outlive that, and I think he can have a ceiling of Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, all right. I don't know about that.
But purely because if we decide to make him a star of the team, if not, then he's going to be that Scottie Pippen.
The reason why I say Scotty Pippen, I don't see Barnes ever being like a 27 point per game scorer, some like crazy. I see Barnes as a 27-6, maybe 19-7-6 guy, high IQ, elite defensively, and you put scorers around him. I feel like now that could be a championship team, but the
Good point
Kawhi
forward.
Leonard, Yeah, the Kawhi Leonard, man, he would have to make a crazy offensive jump.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. And he's
Yeah,
already on his third year, right? So it's going to be difficult.
like his jump shot would need to like change completely.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough.
Yeah,
I won't deny that. But the play-in being over, we now know who's going to be playing in the next for the 8th seed for both conferences. So let's get this over with real quick. So let's talk about the East first. Who we think is going to be the 8th seed for the East? We have the Heat versus the Bulls.
I got the Bulls, man. They should win. I don't know. I mean, it'll be close, but I just feel like the Heat are still a better team, and the Bulls didn't really play well against the Raptors up until like the last
True.
quarter. So,
True. All right, that's valid. Well, I got the Heat.
yeah.
Great defense. They suffered at the wrath of the Hawks, but you know what? It'll be a good game. They should be able to get it done. There's no reason they shouldn't.
Yeah, if they don't, bro, they might
Yeah.
need to blow it up as well.
Oh, you meant the Heat. You said the Bulls. I was so confused.
No, the Heat. But I mean, the Bulls should blow
Oh.
it up too. If you ask me, I mean, I don't get
Yeah,
settling for the 8th seed, but that's just me though.
Potential Bam Adebayo trade or Jimmy Butler trade for Toronto? Question mark.
You know where Bam would be good on? The Kings. Man, you pair Sabonis with a power forward who could defend. Oh
You
my
know what?
lord,
I can see that. Yeah, or even somewhere like the Mavs.
Mavs would be good. Him and Jokic would be disgusting. Another
That's actually
defender.
unfair.
That is unfair. That is unfair.
All right, moving on to the West, we have the Thunder versus the Timberwolves. I'm gonna start this one off. I got the Thunder.
Thunder. Wait, you mean the Pelicans and the Timberwolves?
The Thunder didn't win.
No, the Thunder won. So that means that they're. Oh, I'm tripping.
Yeah, the
Oh
Thunder
my
were
God,
9-10 seed, bro. I was like,
I'm
what?
tripping. Whoa,
Yeah,
yo.
yeah.
Oh, give the Thunder. I have the Timberwolves. I think they're a better roster. I think unlike last time when Cat is off the court, they should be able to survive because that's why they lost against the Lakers. So I expect Edwards to actually play better this time. So
yeah. My thing is, I think it's easier for the Thunder who keep going off of the win that they just had rather than Minnesota bounce back from that loss they just took.
yeah, it was a tough loss.
Because although it was a close game, it was a tough loss.
Yeah,
it's a tough loss.
We will see if OKC can make the playoffs. It's a good step in the right direction for them.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Good stuff for Shea. Push them further as a team. So with this being said, then let's talk about the actual playoffs then. So we'll skip all the first round stuff and we'll just jump to the ECF and the finals and the WCF just so we can get the interesting stuff, more juicier things in the way. So let's start it off with the West here. Who do you have going to the Western Conference Finals?
I have the Warriors and the Suns.
Ooh. Okay. All right. That's valid.
Who you got, man?
For me, I'm still torn on that first round matchup between the Grizzlies and the Lakers. But I think I'm gonna give it to the Lakers.
Lakers and who? Well,
no, sorry. So I think I'm gonna give that first round matchup with the Grizzlies and Lakers in the first. I'm gonna give that to the Lakers.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool. So then I'll have the Clippers versus Warriors. Because it'll be that Warriors versus Lakers matchup, and I don't think the Lakers are good enough to beat this Warriors team. They're gonna make some surprises, man.
Yeah. I would pick the Clippers if I just knew more about where Paul George's health at. It's just getting too cut. They're cutting it way too close. So yeah, man. Yeah, the Suns' offense is just crazy. But yeah, if they were healthy, I'd pick them. But they're not. So sadly,
I'm counting on Paul George coming back. If he can't, then
but I'm rooting for them though. I'm rooting for them. But I think the Suns are just going to be better if Paul George misses like a quarter of the series or something like that. He needs to be back soon, right away.
Because the problem is, I mean, the Clippers are an incredible team, but they've never been healthy once in the playoffs.
Yeah.
right? So we've never seen them at their full potential. So I hope this year we can see that. But if not, then that's going to be
For them to win, essentially, when they'd have to split the games where Paul George is gone. Kawhi will have to go into his deep bag, go into 2019 Kawhi, and just dominate, carry them to at least one win. Hope Paul George comes back for Game 3, and then they can win a Game 7 in Phoenix. So that's the game plan. But to me, that Suns offense is disgusting out here, man. That Devin Booker and KD duo, insane.
It's deadly. Yeah. It's deadly out here, man. And the only place they might lack is their defense, but we all know how KD's defense gets in the playoffs. So we never know how it's going to go.
I mean, they're decent defensively, so.
Right. It's not like they lost everything.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Eastern Conference. Who you got in the ECF?
East, I mean, it seems pretty simple. It's Celtics and Bucks, man.
Yeah, I got the exact same.
Yeah.
That one's pretty self-explanatory.
Even though I will say this, the Sixers, they can pose some type of matchup threat to the Celtics, but I just trust their IQ and their coaching more, especially late down the games. I don't really trust the Sixers like that. But if Joel Embiid, they have a lot of scorers. Let's say with the Sixers. Like, they might be the most. I mean, they're big four. Think about Tobias Harris being your fourth best scorer. It's just nuts. Then you have Melton, who's still a good bench player. PJ Tucker. They're going to do some damage, but they just. To me, if they were in the West, they would be making the finals. But because they have to face the Celtics, it's just tough out here. But
yeah, the East is out here dominating again, man.
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. The top half of the East is dominating.
Yeah.
After the Knicks, if you look at the conference, drops down when you compare to this, because the first round matchups in the West are tough.
Like, do you remember that one time in the West where there was like an 8 seed with like 45 wins? Yeah, like it used to happen.
It used to happen a couple of times in the 2000s.
Yeah, bro.
Because if you look at the first round in the West, the Kings and the Warriors, that's not an easy matchup. That is not.
It'll be fun to watch. It'll be nice entertaining basketball.
Yeah, that is not the. I have the Warriors in 6 in that matchup, essentially due to the fact Kings have no experience. Their defense is piss poor. Curry is the best player on the team, but on the series. But the Kings, they're a fast-paced team. They're going to score a lot of points, and it's going to be a really good matchup. So,
yeah, no, I got the Warriors in 6 as well. They're not good enough to bring it to 7, but they could take 2 games at home from them.
Get themselves a defensive power forward.
Then it's over. They'll actually be a genuinely good team.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the finals. So before we talk, when we see our finals, we're going to say who in the conference finals is going to win and how many games they're going to win in. And then we'll talk about who's going to the finals. So who do you have in the finals and how are they winning?
All right. So have the Celtics go in the finals. They beat the Bucks in 7, in my opinion. And then the Suns and Warriors, I have the Suns winning in a game 7.
Nice. I'm close with you. I have the Bucks winning in 7, and I have the Warriors winning in 7. So I have the Warriors beating the Clippers and the Bucks beating the Celtics. That Bucks one is literally that Bucks Celtics is just a coin toss for me.
Yeah.
They're such a good team, both teams. So I'll be happy to see any guys. At the end of the day, since it was so close for me, it just came down to personal bias. And I like Giannis, and I want him to keep improving himself and eventually hit that top 10. So
this is my thing. I want people to be clear. I'm rooting for the Bucks, right? If you ask my full bias, I want Giannis to go. I want Giannis to win it all. But to me, I don't know. Something about my brain says, "Hey, yo, man, the Celtics. I like their depth more." I also not really fully sure about Chris Middleton. He still hasn't been 100% all year. And if he isn't what he was in 2020 when they won the championship, you're asking Giannis to go out there and do a whole lot. Like, Middleton's going to need to play big, and I don't really trust him since he hasn't been fully healthy all year. So to me, I think the Celtics, they have much more well-rounded scorers. I just like their spacing more.
Yeah.
And they're the best team to guard Giannis if there's a team out there. So
Yeah, the problem is just like, can they be that same playoff team without Chris Middleton? And that's where the Celtics might capitalize because they got these
yeah.
4 or 5 guys that could go off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not 4 or 5. They have Jaylen Brown. They have Jason Tatum. They have Malcolm Brogdon coming off the bench. And they have
who I think will play more in the playoffs. I could see him starting because he's one of the more people who know how to control the basketball, which is still a problem that the Celtics have, especially since Tatum and Brown, or Brown in particular, they get more loose with the basketball. So,
and he's been fairly good in the playoffs in the past.
He's been fairly good in the playoffs in the past. So, to me, I just think Giannis is going to go off, but instead of him having 40 or something like that, he might have 30. And if they could slow down the other teammates around him, limit the Bucks from shooting, I feel like they got it.
All right, now let's move on to the finals then. So, Jordan, you go
first.
We
talk about the West, or?
Oh, we didn't talk about the West.
No.
We didn't go into depth about it anyways. So, yeah, I had the Warriors beating the Clippers in 7, and then you had the Suns beating the Warriors in 7, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at least for me, my only concern with the Warriors is that their habits all year around just haven't been good, especially on the road. Their road record's awful. I remember they have like 10 road wins or something disgusting like that. But I do believe with Andrew Wiggins, they're going to come back and they should be better and they should be ready. But for me, when it comes to that Suns team, bro, the fact they have KD playing off ball with a high IQ point guard, with Devin Booker could still drop 30, when you still have DeAndre Ayton, their offensive firepower is insane. And to me, when it gets closer into that game, more late in game, I think they could attack Jordan Poole completely off the floor. And that's a whole other thing too with the Warriors, because if Jordan Poole can't stay on the court, the Warriors might be done. Because for how great he is offensively, defensively, he's a liability. And if he can't stay in front of Devin Booker or Chris Paul, I don't think they could hide him on defense, and I think they will exploit the hell out of him. And
they're going to be attacking him for sure.
Yeah.
However, I think this Warriors team, no matter who they have in their squad, is different in the playoffs. We've seen it every single year, whether it be their players or their staff. They are different when it comes in the playoffs, and they have this mentality that they constantly have something to prove, which they do in a way. The Suns may have more to prove, but the Warriors this year, especially Stephen Curry, has a lot to prove, right? He's proven that he can take a team that goes through injuries and has some time where they're bums. He can come back from injuries and perform well, right? So he has something to prove, and I think that this year he's going to take advantage of everyone in the playoffs, and he's going to exploit that Suns defense. Because although it may not be bad, you can't act like Devin Booker isn't a defensive liability.
Curry will go off.
Because if the Suns are going to come right at Jordan Poole, the Warriors are going to go right back at Devin Booker. But so I think no matter who they face, I have them facing the Clippers, which is a harder team defensively. Mm-hmm. But I still have them going off because right now Curry is the most unguardable player in the league.
I would pick the Clippers over to me, whoever wins that first round series to me goes out the West.
That's perfectly fine, man. But
at least for the Clippers have much more depth than the Warriors.
They got good depth, man. But listen, if I'm the Clippers, I don't know if I'm trusting Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to go out there and give me 40 minutes a game.
I mean, if they're that far in the playoffs, I assume they would be.
I'd love for them to trust them. I want them to be trusted. However, we don't know with their injury history.
And also, I don't even like Kawhi like that, but in a playoff series, Kawhi could outperform Curry. Let's not get this twisted. I know people might get mad about that. If you see Kawhi's playoff resume, Kawhi's a different demon in the playoffs, bro.
He is different in these playoffs.
He's a
monster.
Ain't no normal monster. Like his over the last 4 years or something, when he's healthy, that bro's playing on an all-time level in the playoffs.
Like that 2019 was one of the greatest playoff runs we've ever seen.
Not even just 2019, 2017 before he got out against the Warriors, up until the Utah Jazz game, this dude was averaging 30 on 50, 40, 90 on elite defense. So
I'm a firm believer that the Warriors would have lost that series if Kawhi didn't get injured.
Yeah, that Warriors team, I think that was more of an aberration game, but that series would have been a lot closer though.
Yeah. But regardless though, uh, if it does come down to two beasts like Curry and Kawhi, I think it'll be incredible. But
Yeah.
I think that the Warriors have uh more scorers. That
But
because Andrew
yeah,
Wiggins can go for a 24 any day any day, especially in the playoffs.
I
He's
agree
done
with that,
well.
yeah.
Stephen Curry is gonna. I have no doubt in my mind that Steph Curry is going to average 30 at least in these
Mhm.
playoffs. And then you have Klay Thompson, who's an incredible shooter beside him.
Yeah.
And then you have Jordan Poole, who could be coming off the bench, right? So you have an incredible, incredible deep scoring lineup. Plus you have
Hmm.
Andrew Wiggins at that small forward spot who can defend the best he can at Kawhi. And the best he can is going to be containing Kawhi to 30. But if that's what he has to do, that's what he'll do because I think this Warriors team is going to get it done.
Yeah, at least the only things, two things that concern me is that the habits they've had this year, me having them in the conference finals is me trusting them. And I'm gonna be honest, I have them in the conference finals more because of their bracket than how good I think they are. I think the side of the bracket they are on is a lot weaker. You have the Kings who don't have a lot of playoff experience, aren't good defensively. You have the Lakers who don't have enough shooting, and they make weird mistakes at the worst time.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, when you start playing a team like the Suns or the Clippers, who are more disciplined, who honestly they could outcoach Nurse, or not Nurse Kerr. Like Monty Williams could outcoach. He's a better coach right now. Like Kerr could get outcoached and stuff like that. Can those habits? Can they have those habits in time against a good foundational team? So that's the only thing. That's my biggest problem with the Warriors. Is like all year they haven't had these great habits. So maybe they could turn it on. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. So for me, I think they could go to the conference finals essentially because of their bracket. I think that side of the West isn't as strong if they're playing that 1-4-5 matchup. But to me, I just think that those two teams are the most complete teams in the Clippers, healthy Clippers and the Suns are the most complete teams in the West. And I have them going to the finals just to lose to an Eastern Conference team, though. But
yeah, no, of course. Is it safe to say that whoever comes out the East is winning it this year?
yeah, even the Sixers could beat most of the teams in the West because I don't know who's going to guard Embiid. Like,
because I love the Warriors, but I got the Bucks winning in 7 when they go to the finals. They're
I
too
have
unstoppable. Having Giannis is gonna
facts.
like I'm not even trying to exaggerate. Like he's gonna do Wilt Chamberlain numbers in the finals.
No,
Like
he's going to do what he did against the Suns the first time he played them in the finals, if that were to happen. At least for me, I have the Celtics in 6 against the Suns. The depth, the defense, and the reason why I'm picking the Celtics, they're the only team I think this year that is around top 5 in offense and defense. So they're the most consistent team on both ends of the floor. And I just trust that will sustain the playoffs. They're a better team than they are this year, especially with all the depth. So they're not going to have to. They're not. So Tatum and Brown are not going to be exhausted going into the final. So and defensively, man, they monsters. And Chris Paul, if he in the finals, he's going to struggle. It's going to be a bloodbath for him. Marcus Smart's going to bully the hell out of him.
yeah, no. Listen, Chris Paul, you're old, bro. I hate to tell you.
Yeah.
But listen, man, I think that Giannis is gonna go off, like I said, Will Chamberlain numbers. I'm not even exaggerating. I think he's gonna drop 40 a game.
Yeah.
Like, because once again, not only is it Giannis, but it's Giannis in the finals. And we've seen Giannis in the finals before. And I think he's gonna go home, ring his bell, and be happy. Okay. So what's gonna happen is whoever comes out the East, whoever comes out the East is winning. We've come down to that. It's literally just between the Bucks and Celtics. It can really go either way.
Yeah.
But whichever way it goes, the East is coming out victorious.
Man.
We don't got enough time to talk about awards, so we'll be doing that on the next episode. So that concludes today's episode. Let us know who y'all have going to the finals, all right? I want to see some interesting picks. I know a couple of youths that got the Lakers going to the finals as a big dark horse. I know some guys that got the Grizzlies going to the finals. The West is a big dice roll this year. The West is a dice roll.
I don't know about no Grizzlies, man. I don't know about all that.
Listen, Jesus is going to roll the dice. And he's going to be like, who do I want to go to the finals? Because I can't. Okay, no, wait, no. Jesus will not roll the dice because that is gambling.
Yeah, true.
Whatever God wills will happen.
Yeah, the
But
West is more unpredictable. I could see there's like 6 teams who, if they were to make the finals in the West, I really wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, but thank
Outside of
you,
the Kings and second seed, the Kings and whoever the eighth seed is,
Coach of the Year
free
right there.
game for everybody else.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all so much for watching. Like I said, give us your award predictions. Give us your finals predictions, playoff predictions. Let us know what's going to happen. Let us know if your team is still in the playoffs. All right. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on
Yeah,
post notifications, share, and comment. That's a new one now. All right. I want y'all to comment. All right. I like getting the
facts.
hate. Okay. Because look, without this hate, we wouldn't have 42,000 views on Instagram. All right. We wouldn't have 1.5 thousand likes. We wouldn't have all these things on Instagram. Right. So
Yep.
keep it up. Keep the hate going. I don't care. Just keep it coming because you're giving us views. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure I already said the like, subscribe thing. Have a good day, evening, night, wherever y'all stay at. Join us next week for our award predictions. God bless. Peace.